I was actually on the treadmill, a song by Travis Green came on talking about intentional. What it was talking about was God is intentional. He's intentional about us. He's intentional about the things that he put forth in our lives. And what it made me think about was to tie this all in, because, my goal is to tie this lock in 2025 with where I am in my life and what I need to do. So this is not just about me locking in with health and locking in with my finances and self-care. It's also me locking into God. So I want to just encourage you that if you're on a journey, no matter what, if you're on a journey to get better with your finances, self-care, taking care of yourself, getting your life orderly. I'm going to do something talking about decluttering your life. If you're talking about trying to be on purpose, even so let's talk about day one of the lock-in that I started actually today. I'm actually traveling, and I'm gonna tell you, usually when I'm traveling, I am exhausted and I'm like, I am done. I am not doing nothing else today. But because the lock-in started for me today, which is September the 8th, I decided, okay, you made some commitments. If you watched my video that talked about faith and health, one of the things was setting small goals for yourself each and every day. I'm going to tell you, this is really a mindset change. You really got to commit. And if you haven't done so already, it's not too late for you to go ahead and join in on what's being called the Great Lock-In. And I'm doing it for those of us who are over 50. I know a lot of younger people are doing it, but I feel like this is something applicable for all of us. If you've been on a weight loss journey, if you have some goals and aspirations that you want to see achieved in 2026, this is the time to start. Don't wait till January to say, hey, I want to do this resolution, reset, and all of that. You can actually start now. And one thing I'm telling you, and I mentioned this in my last video, when I said that I was coming back from home from vacation and work with my family and everything, I said, okay, yeah, girl, you gotta hone it in, you gotta buckle down. But I will tell you, being more structured and writing things down and making myself accountable, praying about it, asking God for help, this has really hit home for me. I was just telling my son, this is more than what you think. And it's the same thing like when you start the new year and you start out gung-ho. This is like you doing the kickstart, you going ahead and charging yourself up for what you want to have happen in 2026. And I can honestly tell you that when you change your mind, when you write things down, when you commit to it and say, I'm going to do X. So I told you in the last video for faith and health to start out with 10 to 15 minutes a day, saying I'm going to walk for 10 to 15 minutes a day, or I'm going to actually drink more water, or anything that you're doing for your health. I'm going to eat cleaner, those kind of things. I will tell you too, another quick tip is I was in the airport and I was like, oh, I think I'm a little hungry. I'm ready to eat something. And I had to revert back to something I read in the Atomic Habits book that said, would a healthy person eat this? And I had to say, I am now that person. So I have to actually think like a healthy person and think about where I want to be and what I'm trying to do. So basically, I had it in my hand and I actually literally put it back. It was so a bag of chips. And I was like, and then I picked up some nuts, but they were like some kind of candied nuts or something. And I'm like, would a healthy person eat this? Absolutely not. So for me, continuing on my weight loss journey and doing what I need to do for faith and health in the lock-in, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the hotel room. And trust me, I really literally did want to just come back in here and sit down and do nothing. But I made a commitment. I wrote it down like I told you to do. So I actually prayed over it and said, God, I'm going to do this. And it's all about you continually repeating to yourself, I'm going to do this. So I just want to give you a quick update. This is day one. I'm committed. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm about to change clothes, go down to the gym. I'm gonna actually do 30 minutes because like I told you, I've already been working out. So I'm gonna do 30 minutes, then I'm gonna come back. I've already gotten my healthy food, so I'm gonna come back and eat. And then I'm gonna get myself cleaned up for tomorrow. And I got a few things to do for work. And I already did my reading. Another thing I did in my commitment for this first portion was to commit to reading more. So I did my reading while I was on the plane. Actually, I said I was going to read 30 minutes a day. I did the reading for actually almost, my flight was a little over 2 hours. So I read almost up into the last 30 minutes of the flight. So that's something about this great lock-in. That's something that we have to all turn to and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this through and by the power of God. I'm going to tell you, like I said, I can't do anything in and of myself because my mind was definitely telling me, no, cut this out, be done, and do it. So it's about, let's see, it's 5:15 where I'm at right now. So like I said again, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to run on the treadmill for a little while. Well, I should say run, walk. I want to get up to running again, but I'm going to walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to come back up and get ready for the next day. Again, if you have not started this challenge, go ahead and start. It's not too late.
Deus está do meu lado, todo lado de Deus, Se eu, que sou mero mortal, tenho meus planos, será que Deus, o Todo-Poderoso, não teria os seus? Afinal chegou minha vez, com Deus eu vou caminhar. Chegou minha vez, com Deus eu vou reinar. Fé, esperança e amor. Fé, esperança.
Okay, so I just finished 30 minutes. I did a little over 30 minutes. And let me tell you something. I just came across such a great word while I was doing it. And I'm going to read it to you time I get back to the room. So I'm back in the room and I'm so excited because God just put something in my spirit while I was actually working out. And you know, my focus this week is faith plus health. And if you saw my video that I did talking about faith plus health, I talked about how even in this lock-in for 2025 at the end here, you have to actually be intentional. And while I was actually on the treadmill, a song by Travis Green came on talking about intentional. What it was talking about was God is intentional. He's intentional about us. He's intentional about the things that he put forth in our lives. And what it made me think about was to tie this all in because, you know, my goal is to tie this lock-in 2025 with where I am in my life and what I need to do. So this is not just about me locking in with health and locking in with my finances and self-care. It's also me locking into God. So one of the things I came across while I was doing this, and it was so funny that it said, because I was like, oh, I gotta talk about this because this is what my channel is transitioning into, is the spirituality of when you're trying to be healthy, you know, how you need God to help you, to assist you. Even if you're on a medication or not on a medication, you still need God. I don't care how you try to put this in it. And I know, you know, this might not be the cup of tea for everybody, but I'm just trusting God that who this needs to reach, it will reach. So I want to just encourage you that if you're on a journey, no matter what, if you're on a journey to get better with your finances, self-care, taking care of yourself, getting your life orderly. I mean, I'm going to do something talking about decluttering your life. If you're talking about trying to be on purpose, even if you're over 50, you can still do it. And I'm going to say it again. If you haven't started this lock-in 2025, I really believe this is something that's going to go forward, that's going to propel you into a greater new year. And honestly, like I said before I went to the gym, normally when I'm traveling, I don't want to do anything. I just want to come to the room, get myself together and be done. But what I want to tie this to is God calls us to be intentional. And it says being intentional means making deliberate decisions. So let's talk about that back into the point of what we're doing with this lock-in. We're being intentional by making deliberate decisions that also align with God's will rather than just going through the motion. So God's will is that we be healed. He said through and by the blood of Jesus Christ, we are healed. So if you're on a journey to get healthy, that aligns with God's will. So rather than thinking, okay, I'm just believing God for my health and believing God for any areas that I need healing, I have to now realize that I have to activate those things and be intentional about those things in order for me to go and get into the path that I desire to be. Now, if you're like me, I used to be really work out a lot when I was younger. I did a lot of things, but life happened. And then now that I'm in the point that I'm in right now, I'm like, how did I let this happen? But you know what? I realize it's never too late to start. And that's why I'm thinking about this 2025 actual lock-in, which actually to me, let me say this. Lock-in does not mean you're locked in. Lock-in is you're getting razor focused on things and you're being intentional. So then it talks about the point, and I'll probably use this for the living on purpose, because what it also said, and I want to find it right quick, really quick. Let me find it. Let's see. It says, being intentional in our faith means prioritizing time with God. And just like being intentional in your faith means prioritizing time with God, being intentional about this lock-in onto your finances, onto your health, onto your self-care means that you have to spend time. I'm going to tell you, I can't say that enough. You gotta spend time. And I mean, even from the point of structuring what you plan to do. I told you before, I was just going to jump in, kind of, go free with it. But once I started lining it up, it's easier said than done. So that's why I want to tell you about being intentional, how I want to tie this lock-in with God, saying faith plus health, your faith plus your health, meaning faith plus you being intentional. Even though you're trusting God and believing God for your health, you still got to be intentional about the things and the decisions that you make towards your health. So I won't keep you long because I got to get ready to get in the shower and do what I need to do to get myself ready for my meetings tomorrow. But I want to tell you, just continue to be encouraged. Like I tell you, don't give up, don't quit. Go ahead and jump on in, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Now, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna do it as a daily, if I'm gonna do it as a weekly. I'm probably gonna mix it up depending on my schedule, but I will go ahead and post this day one and we'll keep it moving. Talk to you later.